Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
It's your girl, BD.
It's Four Ends, the fiance.
And we are back with a credits episode. For anyone who, if this is your first time listening, credits episodes are our mini episodes where we kind of just talk about whatever we want. If we don't want to cover a documentary, we'll cover a case, which is what we're doing today, or we'll just talk about whatever we want, basically.
Whatever we fancy, really.
Whatever we fancy. Before we get into it,
yeah, BD has given me a tongue lashing, so yeah, you guys can't see my face, but I'm sulking.
Yeah, that's not even what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say was okay. What I was gonna say was I'm drinking because I feel like the listeners like when we talk about what we're drinking, and today I am drinking Cockburn Special Reserve Port.
Oh, I love port. It's super sweet.
Yeah, it is. I mean, everyone says it's super sweet, but like, it's not that sweet. Like, it's hella strong though.
No, wait, really? I find port
sweet.
really sweet.
I'm gonna leave some for you because I'm not gonna get through this bottle.
Yeah.
Like, I've been drinking the same bottle for like a week. It's that strong.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
I think I guess it's the more expensive it is, maybe the sweeter it is or something.
Oh, so she called me broke. Okay,
no,
cool.
I didn't call you broke, but I know the caliber of drink we drink.
That's okay.
I know the kind of drinks we drink. But yeah,
bitches.
I am drinking tap water in a Kirkland bottle. We've run out of Costco water, so we've now been refilling.
I really thought that you were about to really say you're drinking some kind of alcohol, but whatever. We move.
No. Probably won't be drinking alcohol again till my wedding. I am going to be so drunk at my wedding. Like, I can imagine already.
No, but you need to build your tolerance up beforehand. You can't just have nothing and then just be sloppy on your wedding day.
No, because I'll be sloppy at the time when it's appropriate to be sloppy, like towards the end. Not the end, but like...
so that means you're going to have one shot and then that's that?
Yeah, like when all the speeches are
fair.
done, the dinner's done, everyone's dancing,
that's fine.
Then I'll start drinking. Okay. And then my man will carry me over the threshold.
Yeah, I do think build up the tolerance though.
Like, I'm a weighty babe. But yeah, you know what I mean.
So he can carry you, B? He know who he marry?
All right, guys. Today we are discussing the Elisa Lam case.
Yep.
We're loosely talking about the Netflix documentary Cecil Hotel. The Vanishing at Cecil Hotel. So we'll have bits of that in it, but we're talking about Elisa Lam and just...
Yeah, the case as a whole. Yeah.
So some overview of this case. I've actually listened to 3 podcasts on this case, and I've watched like a lot of YouTube videos about it as well.
Yeah.
It's a very, very interesting case. Like, I love it, and I have so many theories myself about it, and
really,
so many things I think happened. But you know what? Stuff like this, like being somebody who loves like crime and things like that, stuff like this really bothers me because we will never have a conclusive answer.
Right.
It will always be...
The thing is, you can have whatever you think and like what makes the most sense, but like you'll never really ever know. This is exactly how I feel about when, like, say a spouse dies and then their spouse gets accused of the murder.
Yeah.
And there's so much like, oh, did they do it? Did they not? And only that person knows
what happened.
What happened. Because if they didn't do it, then it's like they know they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But if they did do it, then it's like, yeah, okay, cool. I mean, right person is in jail. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or didn't. Either way.
Yeah. It's so crazy. There's so many unsolved
wild
murders and shit like that, yeah. But anyways, so this case starts in a hotel, basically. Elisa is from Canada, and she goes to America, like specifically California, for like a holiday. Like, she does like this road trip, and she's sending her family postcards, keeping them up to date on what she's doing. She has this like blog thing that she has on
what's it like? Not Tumblr. What is it? Is it Tumblr? I think it is Tumblr.
No, I don't know what it was, but she has this blog thing anyways that she
one of them
does.
back, because this is 2013, so just think about whatever was popping in 2013.
Probably Bebo or something, and it's basically her life on this thing that she narrates there. Basically how we tweet now. That's what she does.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say how we tweet. Yeah.
So was it February? I can't remember the exact date.
No, so she disappears on the 31st of January 2013.
Okay, yeah. So on January she disappears. Her family hasn't heard from her. They wait around expecting like a postcard or whatever. They don't hear from her, and then they kind of contact the police, and this search starts for this missing girl. And obviously
She's only 21 at the
she's
time.
only 21. Yeah, I mean, we say only, but you're a graduate. Then you're old enough to hold your own in a different.
Yeah, I mean, you're old enough. Of course, you're old enough, but like you're still young.
Yeah.
Like if someone dies at 21, it's like,
Oh
wow,
no, yeah,
you're
she's
only
definitely
21.
too young to die. But like, I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, like she's 21, like
Oh,
missing.
you mean in terms of like
Being missing?
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
Oh, you mean in terms of like traveling alone? It's like, okay, she's a big
yeah.
woman.
But obviously
Yeah,
to
okay,
die,
fair.
she's very young.
Yeah, but I think maybe it also depends on her personality, because I feel like some people are more like, yeah, she'll be fine, like she's whatever. But if you're more like sort of like shy or like, you know, reserved, then maybe it might be a bit like, oh, she hasn't gotten in contact with us. What's wrong?
Yeah, that's true. So one thing about this particular case that is kind of like sets everybody off on edge immediately is where she's staying. So
Right.
she's staying at the Cecil Hotel, and I don't know what the UK comparison would be. Like, I can't.
Do you know, it's so funny because I was reading that there is actually a Cecil Hotel in London, and it's like I don't know if it's a sister hotel, but it's like the person who bought, or the person who made the American Cecil Hotel named it after. It said in the text like, oh, it was the London Hotel was the same namesake or whatever. So I think they're like
linked
the
somehow.
same.
Yeah,
like linked. Yeah,
but is the
even
London
still,
one better?
I would assume so. Just by way of it being in London. No, I'm joking.
No, I agree. So where this hotel is located, everything about it is really, really dodgy. I think,
very sus.
Very sus. I think when it was initially built, the intention was for this to be a classy kind of hotel.
Classy joint.
Classy joint. And I think it was built in like the 20s, wasn't it?
Yeah. Before the Great Depression.
Literally. So it was the intention was for this hotel to be a classy joint, for people to come there, you know, spend a lot of cash in the rooms, and slowly it just deteriorated into like trash. Like
It's so sad.
So sad. Like people go there to shoot up drugs, people go there to die, people go there to kill people. It's just crazy. And I can't imagine working in this environment.
Somewhere like that.
Literally.
And this is the thing, the documentary touched on this in terms of like, it used to be, you know, all this like upper class and, you know, nice places and stuff. And then the Depression happened. No one had money. The whole area gets kind of run down. And then the hotel started being used for kind of like as a motel. Like it should really be a motel. It's like Motel CD vibes. But then there were a certain number of apartments or rooms at the hotel that people actually lived in. So they like rented the places, and these are people who were mainly like people who'd been to jail and come out, or like people who like sex offenders, like people who couldn't really get a proper
normal
place to live. So you have all the, not to say that everyone, or sex offenders are bad, but not to say that everyone who's been to jail is going to come out and still be the same, do you know what I mean, trash person. But it's almost like, because all these like outcasts of society are in this one place,
it's all just like a melting pot of...
it's like a melting pot of just trash.
Yeah, feeding each other.
And also like based on the street of trash.
Yeah. So Elisa checks into this hotel, which is kind of like, I don't know if it's that she didn't do her research or if this was what she could afford, but either way she's staying, or both literally, but either way she's staying in this hotel.
And it seems like she's kind of very like happy-go-lucky as well. But also, I think the thing with the research as well, because in the documentary, there's a couple who they interview who basically stayed at the hotel at the time that this happened. And they're from the UK. They're from like Plymouth or some random ends, yeah. And it's like, no offense to the Plymouthians that are listening to this, but they were saying how like the price was good and they didn't know the area. It's like coming to London and staying in like Wood Green. You don't know that Wood Green is not ends. It's not like the place to be, but you think, oh, it's a nice hotel. It's not too far from Central, whatever.
Yeah.
So they didn't really know. So maybe it's the same thing with Elisa. Like she didn't know
and
how
they
bad the hotel
renovated
was.
the lobby. So when you walk in, you think, oh my gosh, like this is a decent hotel. And then you go into it's so cheeky. It's so cheeky. It's extremely cheeky. It's extremely
like the hotel's
cheeky.
lit, and then you walk into your room and you're like, hold on,
what is this roach infested?
rat infested.
Chile. When I was watching the documentary, like I'm very particular about like the hotels I stay in. Like I was watching this documentary and I was like, I literally would rather like sleep in a flipping
I would leave.
Yeah. Then like literally I would sleep in a car.
I would take the L and I would book somewhere else.
I could not lay my head to rest there. Shared
the couple,
toilets.
The couple in the...
I was literally like, you lot are coming here and chatting all this shit, but you stayed in this hotel.
And this is the point that I was going to make. They came and they were like, they saw it was shit, and they were like, oh, well, we're only really going to sleep here and bath here, so it doesn't matter. And I was like, those are the two main places that you need.
Like, literally, so if you're showering in this filth, are you not still filthy? Like, if you're sleeping...
And how do you sleep? How do you sleep in the filth?
Gosh.
I literally was like, this doesn't make any of the sense. Like, how many hours are you going to be out compared to how many hours you're going to sleep and clean your body and even put your suitcase down? I was just like...
How do you even feel safe leaving your particulars... in this...
Your partics. I'm sure there was no safe.
Fam.
I'm sure there was no safe.
Do you know that, like, if I stayed in that kind of hotel my whole holiday, there's nothing you could do on that holiday that would make it good. Like,
yeah, it would be... It's a write-off. Go home.
Literally shit. So, again, back to just...
You're actually exacerbated.
I'm so stressed out. So just to kind of highlight the kind of hotel this was, Elisa was initially put in a room where she shared with some other women.
Which is like motel vibes, or like
it's even hostel.
It's not motel. It's not motel. It's hostel. Yeah,
hostel vibes. Who goes on holiday and shares a room with strangers?
Yeah, but that's hostel vibes. Some people do that, like backpacking, right?
Yeah, and
but then don't call yourself a hotel because you're not a hotel.
How can you?
You're a hostel, which is different. Then I know what to expect.
Oh my gosh! So Elisa only stays in this room for 2 days because her roommates complain to the hotel manager that she's really weird. And I was like doing some research on like some of the weird stuff she was doing, like other than just being generally what they found weird. She was leaving these really strange notes on everybody's pillow. And I was like, I understand them asking her to leave because, fam, I don't know you from Adam. I have to close my eyes at night and be in my most vulnerable state
close quarters
with you around. Nah, right. You have got to go.
Yeah.
So finally, as we've said, but eventually Elisa goes missing. And nobody knows where she is. There's a big search that goes into it. And I don't know if this was mentioned in the documentary because, like, heads up now, guys, I didn't finish the documentary. I didn't enjoy it. BD did. I didn't. So, yeah, I don't know if they mentioned this.
Do you know what? I understand because basically Forenza watched it first. And I think I mentioned that at the end of the last episode. And she was saying how they had these, like, not reenactments.
It was like a docu-movie.
Okay, I understand why you thought that, but it wasn't really. That didn't happen a lot in the movie. So, with the movie, in the documentary. So, essentially, like, we were saying she had, like, a Tumblr or a BB or whatever. There was, like, an actor reading out the stuff from her, like, account, which was very, like, not creepy. It was just a bit corny. It was just a bit like, we didn't need this. Do you know what I mean? You could have just done on-screen text or whatever. But, yeah. So there was a bit of that in it, but it wasn't that bad. Like, I thought that a lot of stuff was unnecessary. We delved into very random quarters and we learned about very random things. But yeah, I didn't mind it overall. I think it was all right.
So Elisa's, the day she was meant to check out and move on to her next stage of the journey, because she was doing like a road trip through like America. She went, she didn't contact her family. So obviously they're looking for her. The police are handing out flyers, blah, 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 blah. And this is the bit that everybody remembers from this case, because this creepy elevator video surfaces. And we will post it on our page in case you haven't seen it before. I'm sure you've seen it. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere. But we'll post like a clip of it on our page. And like, just to kind of, for long story short, Elisa is wearing, I'll never forget the outfit. She's wearing like a red jacket, a skirt, and like these shoes that look like the shoes you put on dolls. Black hair, and she's like standing in the corner of the elevator. She puts her head out, puts it back in, stands in the corner, puts her head out, puts it back in. It's almost like a kid playing hide and seek. And then she scuttles out, goes to like out of frame.
No, but when she first goes into the elevator, she presses like all the middle buttons, like all the buttons in a row. She presses like a billion buttons, right? And it's kind of like, what the hell? And all this time that she's moving around, like the elevator doors don't the doors of the lift
close. And that's really weird. That's really, really weird. And then, long story short, finally she leaves the elevator and like suddenly it
never to be seen again.
It closes and goes, which is really, really weird, because when she was doing it in and out, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap, like it didn't.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. So
the doors just open.
That was really weird, and I think that video is where a lot of the speculation about this case comes from.
Right.
And we'll touch on theories and things like that. So a few days, like I said, I don't know if the documentary touches on this, but a few days later, people in the hotel start complaining about the water pressure.
Yeah, it does. It's
And
disgusting. I remember this from the first time I heard of this case. Like, when I think of this case, this is the first thing that comes
literally
to mind, and it just makes me feel sick.
because people ever staying in that hotel definitely is drinking from the tap. So you're drinking that water and it's
The
disgusting.
water, they were complaining that the water pressure was low.
And it was
And
black.
also that the water was like, they say black, but it wasn't black. It was like brown tinted, which is, I mean, that's no better.
Yeah.
But but the first time I heard it and they were like, it was black, I imagined like tar coming out of the tap, but it wasn't like that. It was water, but it's just like when it hit the white sink, it was like, it had like a brown hue. A brown tint, which is, if I saw that coming out my tap, I don't want no parts. Now, it's like, if you didn't take the hint that you needed to leave this hotel before,
This should be
brown
it.
water should be the final straw. No?
But then, do you know, like, have you ever, like, you know, when you go to like Nigeria, sometimes like, and the water is like, have you ever experienced that in Nigeria? The water's brown.
No, the only time, no, I haven't. The only water thing I've experienced is where it's like cloudy, and then it takes a while to like clear up.
No, I've seen.
But it's never brown.
I've seen it be brown before. I've seen it be brown.
Why is it brown?
Before. And again, this is what I wonder. Now this makes me think: how many dead bodies are just floating around, and the water is brown,
tanks.
literally.
Yeah.
So obviously people are complaining, and then okay, this is the bit that really gets me, because they complained that it had an unusual taste. This is what I fucking mean. They was drinking that water straight from the tap bareback. You were drinking this.
That's
my
crazy.
gosh! I'm just thinking about this. Is basically like washing a dead body, and you drink.
And the thing is that you were complaining that it had a bad taste.
And
the
you were
color
still
wasn't
sipping
enough.
on it.
That's crazy. You couldn't
You
even
were
go
still
down the
sipping on
corner and
it.
get bottled water. That you didn't think that was.
This is mortifying. Like, if I found out I was drinking water where a body had been floating in, I think I would cut off my tongue. Like, I just like.
Yeah, it's
No, some
disgusting.
things you think about, you're just like, how, like, I remember watching this video of this guy in New York. He was walking down the street, and then there must have been like he thought there was a step, but it wasn't a step, and like he fell into the ground, but like he fell, like, I don't know where he fell into, but basically it was a pit of rats.
That's disgusting.
I've asked.
That is.
My mum has this
disgusting.
phobia of like mice, rats, and I've asked her so many times, what would you do? And like, even when I talk about it, she gets so. I feel like if it was me, I don't know.
You just have to die there.
You have to
because that's
die
easier.
there, literally, because
Yeah.
what's. Oh,
Like, what do you do? Where, like, that's disgusting.
I saw the
Why
video.
did you
It
share
was
that?
so hot. Like, I saw the video. It was horrid, and it was horrid because like it's bad enough he fell, because obviously you're walking. You don't expect there to be like he fell
A hole in the ground.
and then to be covered in. They bit him.
That is. I mean, I get why they would bite him. Like, all of a sudden we're chilling, and then this human just falls in. Like,
And
do you know
those
what I mean?
rats are like, those underground rats are on
They're rabid,
crack.
yeah.
Like,
They're hood rats, yeah,
they are
yeah.
literally
They're
hood
literally
rats.
hood rats.
Oh my good lord. So on the morning of February 19th, one of the hotel maintenance workers decides to obviously go and check out what the hell is going on with the...
Yeah, can I interject here? So basically, as Florence mentioned earlier, when they realised that Elisa Lam was missing, they actually assigned 18 officers to the case. They kind of talk about this in the documentary. They assigned 18 police officers to the case, which is kind of unusual, because when do you ever hear about like them assigning that many people to, you know? But I also think because of it was the Cecil Hotel, and like shit goes down in the Cecil Hotel, they probably figured something was going on. But anyway.
But I still was surprised by that, because even I remember part of the documentary, the bit that I did watch, it was kind of like... Yeah, like nobody really wanted to deal with that area because it was like Skid Row. They just left people to their own devices.
And so this is another thing. You know how we were saying, like, why would you stay in the Cecil Hotel and stuff? They were actually like renovating. You said renovating the lobby, but they were also made like a side hotel called Stay on Main. So they were like rebranding. So Stay on Main was like, oh, like kind of like hostels, like, oh, this is like a cheap, you know, funky, everybody can come, you know, if you want to, if you're on a budget, to kind of say, like, I've seen hotels like that are like hostels kind of thing, like hostels in between. Mm-hmm. So they were rebranding. So they had different entrances, but I think they had a shared lobby. And then I think it was the first 3 floors were for residents who actually lived in the hotel. Then the next, I think, 3 floors were Stay on Main, and then the floors there above there were the Cecil Hotel, where all the debauchery happened. Yeah. So those 3 middle ones were Stay on Main, but you had to share the lift to get in. Like, it was the same lift that you take to get from those floors to the normal floor. So
you could be a normal
person
on the floor with a pedophile.
Well,
Well, on
no.
the
Well, unless
elevator with a pedophile.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, pedophiles can stay wherever they want. Do you know what I mean? If a pedophile stays on Stay on Main, they could. But so it was just it was just too much. It was just too.
Yeah.
It was like you're trying to rebrand and make two separate hotels because you know the bad name that the Cecil Hotel has.
Yeah.
But then it's like you haven't really fully separated yourself from the Cecil Hotel because you are still in the same building. And like, yeah, you've done some renovations and stuff, but not so much so that you can't. Like the two hotels are the same. Do you know, essentially, they just rebranded differently. So that's so Elisa was actually staying at Stay on Main. She wasn't in the actual Cecil Hotel, even though she was in the Cecil building. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
But yeah, so then all the police officers were assigned to her case.
Yeah.
But during this time, on the 3rd of February, so before they found Elisa, one of the police officers, not the ones like that were looking at her case, but another one called Christopher Dorner went on a gun rampage and was just killing people. So loads of them had to get taken off of Elisa's case to go to that case to help with that. So they reckon that had that not happened, they may have found her sooner because they would have done a more intensive search. Yeah,
I don't think so, because where she was found, I don't agree. But I mean, obviously that definitely took away some of the attention from the case onto something else. But I don't think they would have found her any quicker than what they did.
Fair.
So yeah, basically people are complaining about the water, and the maintenance worker goes to go and check out what's going on, and he basically finds her body in like one of those water kind of, I don't know if they're reserves or tanks, but they're massive tanks. And obviously calls the police, and yeah, they drain the tank and everything.
What a discovery!
And obviously, like when your body's in water, it bloats and. So when they found her, she was actually naked, and I think this as well adds to a lot of the speculation about what was going on, because obviously, like, if you find a naked body, the first thing you think is that there's some sort of foul play, because who like strips themselves to like die or whatever. So that added to a lot of the conversation around what happened to her.
Yeah, all the theories.
Theories. Oh, also, guys, can I just say before we go on, I just realised I said pedophile, but I know I'm British, so it's paedophile, but I've been watching a lot of Law and Order SVU, and they say pedophile, so it's just like stuck in my head. I feel like I hear pedophile like every day, 6 times a day, so I've been saying pedophile.
Right.
Yeah, because I know people are going to get onto me.
Right. I mean, I was going to, but I was like, you know what, let me just not. It just sounds strange. It sounds strange coming out your mouth.
Yeah, it's because I've been watching Law and Order SVU, and Stabler's always like, you're pedophile, and now it's in my head. But yeah. Do you watch Law and Order SVU?
No.
Oh god.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just haven't watched it. And it's like you have to load episodes. If it was on Netflix, I probably would watch it. Where do you watch it?
I watch it on Amazon.
It's on Amazon Prime.
I pay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like I pay.
No, Amazon Prime. I've got Amazon Prime.
No, but I pay for the box sets.
For the episodes.
Yeah. Or I watch on Sky.
I don't understand Amazon. If anyone from Amazon listens to this, I don't understand how you can charge the people to use the service and then charge them for more content on the service. It doesn't make any sense. Imagine you're on Netflix and they're charging you to watch The Office. Would you not be outraged?
No, but do you know what it is? Somebody did explain. They were like, look at all what you're getting for the price. Like, you're getting the free delivery, you're getting access. So it makes sense that there's some stuff that you have to pay
for. Then they should know. Then they should just increase the overall cost. Like, why am I paying? Why am I Prime includes Prime Video, but then not all of Prime Video? I'm sorry. Sort it out.
It's very annoying. So yeah, basically this is what happened in the case. And there are many theories but in terms of what actually concrete happened in the case, this is where it ends. Like, they find her body. There's a coroner's report where he basically says it, from what they know about how she died, it was not suicide. But they cannot conclusively say that she was murdered as well.
So what do they leave it as? Undetermined?
Basically it's undetermined.
To this day?
Literally nobody knows like how there's this speculation, and this is why this case is so whatever, because
it's just so sad for the family as well.
Her body was moderately decomposed, like greenish, and yeah, they I can't remember if they could conclusively say when she died, but obviously it was between the time she went missing and when they found her. There was like prescription meds in her body, but they later found out from searching her room that she hadn't been on her medication. And we didn't mention this earlier because I was going to mention this with the theories. But Elisa Lam was actually diagnosed as like bipolar and depressed. So she was on medication, but she wasn't taking it. So again, this leads into some speculation about what could have happened to her. She was on no other recreational drugs. So yeah, that was that was basically it in terms of the case and how she died.
Like the facts.
The facts of the case. Now, BD, what was in the documentary that I missed? Because I only watched the first episode, and then
that was basically what. So the documentary just spoke about what happened, more about the history of the hotel. In the documentary, you meet the manager of the hotel.
I've heard things about her.
Yeah, she's never been a hotel manager. She's just kind of creepy. Like, I don't know. Anyway, she's never been a hotel manager before. It's her first time managing the hotel. She didn't really know what she was getting herself into when she was like that specific hotel, because that hotel had a past. Do you know what I mean? I don't really see the point of her being there, because it was kind of like almost like trying to defend the hotel and how great it is and stuff. It kind of didn't really make any sense. And then just went into theories, which I'm sure you're gonna get into next as well. But that was the main thing.
Do you know who that hotel manager looks like? And I don't know if you're going to like remember her, because it's a very obscure reference. Mm-hmm. But do you remember the episode of The Office where Michael goes to Canada,
with the guys.
With the guys, and he sleeps with the blonde, is it concierge or what's her name?
Oh, yeah, I don't remember what she looks like though.
No,
but I remember
that's
that episode.
what she looks like. Okay, so there's quite a few theories like widely known about how she died, and then we also got some from you guys that we'll discuss as well. So obviously the first one, and I guess that most people go to, is that she was murdered. From the footage that we'll post on our Insta page, they say that it looks like somebody was either stalking her or like she was interacting with someone in that elevator, and that's the person that ends up like leading to her death. They also note that the water tank was closed when they found her, and basically where the water was and where the lid was, it would have been impossible for her to have closed it. But then also...
Yeah, because basically what they said in the documentary is that the lid is like there's like a little gap and you put the lid on top. So it's not as if you can pull the lid from underneath. Like someone would have to be outside to put the lid on top.
Yeah. But the maintenance worker that went to look at what was causing the black water basically said that like he closed the lid. Whether that's true or not,
in the documentary, and it's kind of near the end because it's trying to make it like, oh, this is what happened. It's like he says that when he got to the water tank, the lid was open, the lid was off. So that sort of eliminates all those, oh my days, but she couldn't close the lid. So what happened? Like she didn't close the lid because the lid was open when the maintenance worker got there, according to him.
So there was also the theory of morbid Pablo Vergara. Apparently he was in the documentary as well. He basically took a picture in the room where Elisa Lam stayed, and then he made a song called Died in Pain, which was about a woman drowning.
They interviewed him as well, and he was just saying, he felt so attacked. And I was like, fam, you make songs about murder. Like, you make songs about murder and killing people, and people suspected that you killed the person. Okay, you didn't kill the person, but like, I mean, are you surprised that they thought that you killed the person? Like, come on.
So there's the death by suicide. She as we know, she had multiple mental health issues. She was under medicating. Some of the stuff she put on her blogs, people said was disturbing. So basically, people think that she could have potentially, drowned herself. But however, like we said, the coroner's ruled that out, and there's no suggestion that she took her own life. I think it's something people still hold on to, that she took her own life, but it's either that or that she was murdered. But I have many theories. There's also conversation about someone from the hotel being in on it, and there's a whole conspiracy with everybody working in the hotel, like they know who did it and they're just not saying. There was also some conversation around her kind of hanging around with one of the guys from the hotel, who could have... Oh,
like a seedy character.
Yeah, who could have potentially been a killer. Someone also said they saw her with a guy at some point in the lobby. This seems like another theory as well. Some people are speculating that her death was a copycat of a film called Dark Water, and the girl's name was Cecilia.
There was some real like parallels between that film and the case.
Yeah.
Like they talk about in the documentary as well, and they show kind of like side by sides and stuff. Even what she was wearing when she was in the elevator, that's what the other person was wearing. The person in the movie was wearing. Like she drowns in a water tank. Like it was really weird, but it was almost so weird that it had to be a coincidence because like. Do you know what I mean? It's like going full circle back round to this has to be a coincidence because what are the chances that somebody was trying to emulate this film?
So, like we said, ultimately things have nothing has been concluded other than the fact that, you know, she drowned. There's nothing to say what killed her or why. So I'm going to talk about you guys' theories that I collated from the people on Twitter and Instagram. So Shay Day Kisses says, I think the girls in the room messed with her meds. They clearly weren't getting along. Also, the hotel manager is extremely spooky. Something is off with her.
I think the hotel manager is a bit weird, but I don't know that she was. I think she's thinking more business. I think she's thinking this is hurting the business. Like it wouldn't even be in her best interest to maybe not facilitate a murder, but maybe facilitate a cover up. I don't know if I believe that there was a cover up. I think she's just I don't know. And I also think the way that she was filmed, like the lighting, and I don't know, she just seemed like a weird.
Weird. I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah, I think they did. But you know how the thing I can compare it to is that show Ratched Nurse Ratched.
Yeah.
The way that they filmed
vibe,
that, it's just very it's that same vibe. Like even the trailer where they show her the room, the seat, her face, like it just.
Even the color of the documentary as well. It's a lot more bright than it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
Which then makes it even more creepy. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
So Nigeezy says, I think it was a tragic accident, but the hotel was definitely dodgy. Don't know if it was linked to her not taking her meds or not.
Right, okay.
Yeah. V-Pug says, I think she defo had a bipolar episode. As a result of her reduced meds, then maybe someone took advantage of her. So
right, okay.
Another theory that's come up that I hadn't mentioned yet, I was going to leave the best till last, is this elevator game. So this is a Korean game, and I don't want to. I think she was of Korea. Was she of Korean heritage?
She's definitely East Asian. I don't know where exactly she's from.
So there's this Korean game, and apparently it takes you to another dimension. I'm gonna read out how to play this game. I saw a Reddit thing where this guy played the game, but I don't think it's true. I think he just wrote a story about him playing, wrote a story based on it, but it really did creep me out to the extent where I would never even attempt this game. You need one player and a 10-story building with at least one elevator to play. And basically, to get to the other world, you need to enter the elevator alone or with your friends, but no one else. Proceed to the 4th floor, descend to the 2nd floor. Proceed to the 6th floor, return to the 2nd floor, ascend to the 10th floor, return to the 5th floor. When you reach the 5th floor, people will start to report encountering a young woman. You're not instructed to look at her or say anything to her. She may or may not try talking to you or asking you for help or antagonizing you. Press the button for the 1st floor. 2 things might happen. If the elevator descends to the 1st floor, exit immediately and do not look back or speak. If the elevator starts to go up, you've been allowed into the other world. When you reach the 10th floor, things might look slightly different. No one else will be there. The power might be out. Some players claim to look out of windows and see only a red cross in the distance. If you choose to exit the elevator, you should ignore the woman's attempts to question or stop you. Should you wish to return, nobody says what they see in this other world, but to return to our world, you must use the same elevator you used to arrive, follow steps 2 and 7, finish on the 5th floor. When you reach the 5th floor, press the button to return to the 1st floor. The elevator will attempt to return to the 10th floor instead. Begin pressing the other floor numbers to stop the elevator before you reach the 10th floor. Proceed to the 1st floor again. Upon reaching the 1st floor, check your surroundings. If anything seems off, even the smallest detail, do not get out of the elevator. What if you don't realise till you've already gotten out?
This
Repeat
is too
step
much.
2 until things look normal. Once you're confident you've returned to the real world, exit the elevator. And that is the elevator game.
This is too much. And do you know why this elevator game theory makes absolutely no sense? Yeah. because when they had this bit on the documentary, they show her pressing all these buttons when she gets into the elevator. And then a few, these internet sleuths, like they're just so annoying. Like I would hate for my loved one to die and a bunch of random people with no friends on the internet are talking about, this happened, and moving like she's naive on all things. But anyway, so one of these internet sleuths, as much as I cuss them, basically looks at the video and realized that one of the buttons that she presses is the door hold the door open button, which holds the door open for 2 minutes. And the manager confirmed this in the lifts. And then when you look at the video, the elevator game video, the video is about 4 minutes long, I think. And then she presses it, or however long it coincides anyway. So it's like the reason that the door stayed open is because she presses that button so that it stays open, right? And then when she is looking out and, creeping around, I think that's where the whole, okay, maybe her medications were off or she was a bit paranoid or stuff comes into it, because it looks like she's, like Foren said, she's kind of like, not like playing hide and seek, but more so like checking to see if anyone's following her.
Yeah.
That whole time, we don't see anybody walk past, come through or anything like that. So it really just looks like she's like looking around and maybe not aware that she pressed the hold button. But I know that as soon as I get into a lift, I'm trying to make that elevator door close because I don't want anyone in the lift with me. So I press the close button, right? But she doesn't even attempt to like press stuff quickly or like make the door close. Like she literally is just like, it's creepy, it's weird, but I think it's more weird than creepy. Like I think when you pile on all these theories and all these, oh my god, what if it was this, what if it was this, it's creepy because we don't actually know what happened and because we'll never know what happened. But I reckon that her meds were off or whatever, she wasn't really in the best mental state. And then the another point that they brought up was that to get onto the roof, you either had to have a key or the fire alarm would go off, and the alarm never went off. So that's why I think the theories with it being a worker came up, because it's like someone would need a key, but then there was no evidence that anybody even went on the roof. So she'd have to climb like through a window or something. It was just her getting on the roof is weird, right? How she got on there. It's like, how did she get there?
Yeah.
If it were alone, how did she get there? If someone put her there, who was it, right? But in terms of her, like, being in the water tank, I can imagine that it was just an accident and she just kind of like fell in or like,
but you don't just fall in because you have to climb up there.
Yeah, or jumped in. Like, I think maybe she intentionally, but maybe not in the right state of mind, went in, and didn't deep that this situation is she's not coming out kind of thing. Because the fact that when the story was, the water tank was closed, I was like, the lid was closed, sorry. I was like, well, okay, obviously somebody did it, because how you get in a water tank and then close the lid on yourself? But when it was revealed that the water tank lid was off, it's like she could very much have, do you know what I mean, jumped in there and not deepen what the situation was. But ultimately, like, I don't know, innit? I don't know. I can see it being a tragic accident. But it's just like, foul play, I don't know.
I think people in the hotel that work there know more than they've let on. I think someone's involved, but not in a foul play way. I think someone facilitated that, and that's how she died. Because, like you said, like, how did she get onto the roof? I feel like someone in the hotel knows more than they've let on. Right. I do actually think she was playing the elevator game in the elevator, but obviously I don't think she went to another world. I just think she was playing it.
But I don't know, because even with all those strict instructions that you just read out, it's very intentional. Go to floor 10. You'd press 10 and get to 10. And
but
then
maybe she was having an episode, so she didn't realise she wasn't pressing those things. So I'm not saying she was playing it accurately, but I do think, I 100% think she was having an episode, or I don't know, like she was experiencing something, because she hadn't been taking her medication the way she should have been. So I do think she was going through like an episode, but I think she was trying to play the game, but probably didn't realize she was playing the game. And the reason why is I was reading up on this body language like analysis from this person who's whatever, and they basically they basically say that people keep misreading the elevator scene as her being afraid, but actually she's being quite playful. So she's playing, like, that's what it was coming across, not that she was afraid or she was paranoid or whatever. It actually looks like basically what the body coach analysis or whatever their name is, whatever their job title was, they said that she was playful in her nature. So that's
Yeah, I mean, you can be playful, but not necessarily playing. Like, I just don't like the elevator game. I think is just a way for people to be like, oh my god, the elevator game, like this weird game. Let's all play. Oh, TikTok this. Like, I just feel like it's just, I don't know.
But why
like,
is it not possible that people play
it's
Bloody
everything.
Mary?
Everything is
Candyman?
possible. Yeah, everything is possible. Everything, and that's why this case is so annoying because everything is possible.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that if you're playing that game, right, you're playing it. You're not just randomly like you're following the instructions.
Yeah, but if she was having an episode, maybe she felt like she was following the instructions. Just like you're not climbing up into a water tank, but somehow she did. So
Maybe.
I feel like she's playing it. I also feel like she thought she was going for a swim. Like I think
That's
she
what
was.
I think
she
this is
thought
what I
she was
think.
going for a
I
swim.
think she entered the tank willingly.
Yeah.
But she just didn't. It just wasn't. She wasn't in her right state of mind. So
Yeah.
she just didn't think it was that deep.
Yeah. I think she thought she was going for a swim because also like a lot of like hotels and stuff, like especially warm climates, have their pools on top of the roof. So I think she thought she was going for a swim, and it obviously was not a swim, and that's how she died. I don't.
Yeah, and then
but I think
she got stuck because someone in the documentary was saying how like if with the water tank, as the pressure reduces, all the volume of water reduces, then you can't get out. Do you know what I mean? You can't climb out the same way you got in. Because you're getting lower, exactly. So if the hypothermia didn't get her first, then she would have just drowned eventually. So I think that this is what I'm saying. Like it's just,
it's just like when you hear those cases of people who like die in lifts from hunger. Like I was reading this case of this woman who she went to like her office to get something, and then like she went in the lift and there was like a power outage, and then she literally died in the lift.
My god!
Hunger and I think the dehydration got her first, but it's just a slow because the death is coming. It's such a slow and painful death.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild.
That is so crazy, but yeah, basically that's the case of Elisa Lam. I kind of just think she had a bipolar episode. I think she thought she was going swimming or something in that tank, and it was obviously more than she bargained for. And then
so you think it was accidental? It was a tragic accident.
Yeah. But I think it was definitely linked to her bipolar. But I do think she was playing the game. I just obviously don't think.
But then even if she was playing the game, that's not really relevant.
No, it's not. I'm just saying. I just think she was.
You just loved the elevator game story. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's extremely creepy. I'm surprised there's not a movie about it.
What about the elevator game? There might be.
Maybe there is. Maybe like a Korean movie that we don't know of. But
have you watched Parasite yet?
No.
You should watch it.
I will. I keep hearing about it. Yeah.
You should watch it. Do you know what? People kept telling how long's it been out? If it's been out for over 2 years, then for 2 years, people have been telling me to watch it. And I was just like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. It's on Amazon. It's free. So you don't have to pay your Law and Order SVU prices. But yeah, it's really good. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what it was about. I just heard it was good. And
that's
so I just
another
watched
thing.
it.
Nobody says what it's about, but they're just like, it's good.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't need to know what it's about.
Is it scary?
No, it's not scary. It's no scarier than anything you've ever watched.
Okay, cool. I'll just watch it then on the weekend.
Just watch it. Yeah.
Maybe the next time I'll have my feedback on it.
Yes.
All right, guys, that was the Elisa Lam case and a bit of the disappearance of the Cecil Hotel. I hope if there's one thing... Oh, I was just going to say, well, if there's one thing you take away from this is to not stay there, but yeah.
And it's closed now anyway. Someone bought it 4 years ago.
Yeah, but they're renovating it and...
Yeah, they're renovating it. They said it should be done by 2021 or 2022. Yeah. But they haven't started yet, so...
Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, what are we doing next?
We are doing Framing Britney.
Britney, hit me, baby, one more time.
My loneliness. You know what? Britney Spears, is an icon. Legend. I don't care what anybody says. Like, and I'm glad that we're doing this documentary because they did Britney so wrong. I just feel like it's so.
Whenever I go on her Instagram, my heart breaks. Britney was my first girl idol. Like literally, I always used to be
pop star person.
Yeah, I always used to be like, oh my gosh, I want to be like Britney, and like I used to stan her, and I had all her albums, and I'll never forget
I really liked
that
Britney.
first one where she was like sitting down.
Oops, I did it again with the red jumpsuit.
Not just the red jumpsuit. The album cover was her like sitting down with her legs at her side, and she was looking up at the camera.
Okay.
Do you know that? Okay, I'll post.
What in the white? Is she wearing a white? Is she wearing a white? White top?
Something. Yeah, white something. We'll post this on our page when we do the episode. But yeah, Britney was like. the it girl. She was everything.
Yeah, Britney was, as in, she was the queen of all the girls.
Literally.
I remember her and Christina Aguilera. I'm always being like, yeah, I'm Team Britney.
Team Britney all the way.
Back then, from Clubhouse, was it Clubhouse?
Yeah, Mickey Mouse, Mickey's Club.
Whatever's, yeah.
Michael Jackson. Yeah, we will be hitting you, baby, one more time next week.
One more time. But yeah, we're doing Framing Britney. I'm so excited to do this one, honestly. I'm so excited. Okay. Yeah, so where can they find us?
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube at 2 Girls 1 Dog.
Oh yeah, guys. So essentially, what we've done is we're going to put our episodes on YouTube on Fridays. So it'll come out on all DSPs on Thursdays, and then it'll come out on YouTube on Fridays.
Yep.
And so if you know anyone who doesn't have access to Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, and you still want them to listen, you can just send them the link on YouTube. Or if you just want to watch it on YouTube, then you can just listen while you clean your house or whatever.
Yeah.
But it just gives you another way to listen to us, which is great.
Because we are the gift that keeps giving. And also my Nigerian Spotify is in Nigeria now, so you can listen to us.
What, it just got to Nigeria?
Yeah. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
That's so
you guys can listen to us on Spotify. You can follow us there, and you can also check out our playlist that we have.
Where we put all the songs that we sing, which needs to be updated. We're also on Instagram and Twitter at 2 Girls 1 Doc. Same with Facebook. I am on Instagram and Twitter at BD on Eyewear, and you are?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at 4 ends with 2 underscores, and you can also find me on my other podcast, Character Replay, on all your podcasting platforms.
All right, guys, I'm going to play a trailer for Framing Britney next, and we will see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
This is Free Britney 102, where we explore issues related to the Free Britney movement. The Free Britney movement is advocating for the end of Britney Spears' conservatorship.
I need everyone who is scrolling right now to stop and watch this video.
Britney Spears needs our help. Since 2008, she has been under something called a legal conservatorship by her father.
Now, a conservatorship literally gives someone else the control of your life. They decide what you can and can't do, and it's usually used for elderly people who don't have the necessary brain function.
But a functioning woman that's been working non-stop, it doesn't make any sense.
Dear Brittany, my name is Elizabeth Denon, and I'm 29 years old.
My name is James Miller, and I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
My name is Jasmine. I'm 28, and I am a Scorpio from New Jersey.
Dear Brittany.
Dear Brittany.
Dear Brittany.
I'm so nervous. I'm like sweating.
Your whole situation is consuming me now. I can't believe that it's just been this long, and I didn't know.
When I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. But every day you learn more, and you gain more wisdom from that.
Why is she still in this? Why is her dad making all of her decisions?
I am where I am today is because I do have control. You have to, otherwise you get sucked in by people.
I have always viewed the situation as something that I don't think would have ever happened to a man in America.
Trust me, there are days that I struggle with myself.
I am familiar with the lawyers on the case. They care deeply for Brittany.
I trust the system. I believe the law is aimed at actually protecting the conservatee.
There were things out there that have been said about me that aren't completely true.
We stand up for you, Britney Spears, and we won't stop until you reach freedom.
There's a lot that people don't know about me that I want them to know.